Hello, I am Catherine Reyes, and I want to share with you my research about the topic that I choose for this class. Essentially, I'm going to speak to you about the importance of attention in the listening during the listening process in order to enhance the relationships. The International Listening Association defines listening as the process of receiving, constructing meaning from, and responding to spoken or no verbal messages. Communication has several functions that we can include um, to provide information, human needs, um, identifies people to contribute directly to develop. But the most important, I believe, is to build a strong relationships, all kinds of relationships. When we actively listen, when we recognize and value the person with whom we are communicating, when we hear their point of view, even though it's different from ours, when we understand their interests and take them in account, when we recognize their feelings, their values, and their principles, that's it. We recognize. A study of over 8,000 people that works in different agencies as the government, hospital, and in different fields. It shows that the average people think that they listen better than their coworker. However, a research shows that the average person listen efficiently only 25%. So completely different about what we believe that we listen. That's why I'm very interested and researching this topic because I also want to improve my listening skills because I strongly believe this is so important in order to build a strong relationships. Active listening means listening and understanding communication from the point of view of the speaker. We refer to the ability to listen not only what the person is expressing directly, but also the feelings, the ideas, or thoughts that underlie what is being said. To get to understand someone requires some empathy. Empathy, that is knowing how to put yourself in the other person's place and try to understand how they feel from that place. Active listening can into play very important factors for communication, such as emotional intelligence, assertiveness, or empathy, among other social skills. That's why I strongly believe how important to me is to know what is my average of listening. So how can I improve if I'm not doing if I'm not doing it right? And also it helps me to get some conclusions about this interesting topic. The active listening process is composed of three parts, that is attention, perception, and response. If you manage to master each of these steps, you can maintain any type of conversation, dialogue, or negotiation successfully. Trust me. During the active listening, you have to pay attention to details, emotions. Also, you have to be active responses, asking questions in order to improve your perception. Let's say that we also see in class about the perception checking. This is a good moment if you are paying good attention that you can ask to clarify what the other person means when they were talking or expressing their thoughts. Also, we can say if the person is expressing frustration when they are talking to us, we can say or explain that for example, I understand why that X or Y situation could cause frustration, meaning that we have empathy, like we are feeling what you are saying. Another strategy that can be used to have an active or paying attention to the listening is the mirroring. Mirroring is it means that the other person is you are facing each other, and then you can you can see the nonverbal communication of the other person, and the other person can look at you, that you are like that you have a section of they are saying through your emotions or your nonverbal communication. These gestures, these gestures, these expressive gestures seem to indicate sympathy, and empathy in emotional situations. On the contrary, I had to study all this. I had to study all this because I'm having problem. I'm having I'm having a strong problems, paying attention to others. Like I'm doing at the same time so many things, especially using my phone, or reading, or watching TV, or everything. Something different. But as I said before, your nonverbal communication, it let them know to the other person if you are paying attention or not. That can help you to build your relationship with that person. That person won't wait again, or won't go again to try to talk to you because you're not paying attention to them. Why someone is going to waste their time in that way? So we are in the society, and we need to build relationships. If we are not building relationships, to have an understanding better of what is not a good listening or paying attention properly to another person, I want you guys to watch this video about a movie where you can notice it when a person is trying to get attention to you and you're not listening properly. Please watch it carefully, and I'll be back with you soon.
My father died when I was 9. He was in the army. He wasn't home very much. 2 weeks before he died, he told me that in the Korean War, it felt like he lost his soul. All this time, I thought it was me. I've moved 7 times in the last year. I've had several jobs. Nothing seemed to fit. I don't seem to fit.
And when your father died, how did that make you feel?
I don't know. I was 9. It was like there's this distinction suddenly between you and the rest of the world. I looked around me. Life went on just like it did before. But it wasn't like it was before. My uncle helped. He would visit. He at least listened. And I thought, if I could light my own farts, I could fly to the moon, or at least Uranus. But if I couldn't do that, at least I could use my penis as a pogo stick, and that might be a way of getting around.
I'm sorry? Yes, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, well, I think you're making fine progress, Hunter. We'll talk later in group.
Thank you.
Active listening involves listening with all senses, as well as giving full attention to the speaker. It is important that the active listener is also seen to be listening. Otherwise, the speaker may conclude that what they are talking about isn't interesting to the listener. Active listening is a skill that can be acquired and developed with practice. However, active listening can be difficult to master and will therefore take time and patience to develop. That's why I'm not I'm not mastering in listening, but I'm paying attention now, and I know in the future I can improve it, like taking all these steps that that I found out after this research. Thank you to the professor for helping me with this.